Next, we have Karthik Sirigiri, application developer, Redmayne Technology USA. Karthik Sirigiri is a software developer with 6 years experience building cloud native solutions for healthcare and enterprise clients. His expertise spans .NET, C Sharp, Angular, Azure microservices, SQL, and AI-enabled DevOps automation. He has led playwright-based testing frameworks, authored peer-reviewed papers on PWAs, microservices optimization, CI/CD, and AI in DevOps, and served as a reviewer for IEEE conferences and a judge at national hackathons. He holds an MS in computer science from Texas Tech University.
Uh, Hey Himanshi, I am unable to share the screen because someone else is sharing the screen right now.
No, only your screen is visible.
Okay, just give me a second. Uh, can you see my screen right now? Oh,
Yes, sir.
uh, just give me a second. Sorry. Uh, yeah, you can see my presentation, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, good morning, guys. Greetings of the day, wherever you are, and thank you for the Committee of International Conference of Computing and Communication Networks for inviting me as a speaker. So, I am Karthik Sirigiri, software developer with more than 6+ years of experience in building the .NET Angular application and on the cloud Azure, and mostly working with healthcare and state case management programs. So today my topic is related to coding in the age of AI and how we need to stay smart when the code writes itself. So I'm gonna start with something like printing hello world program in the starting of our computer science journey maybe. So I still remember the thrill of printing the hello world program on my computer in my college days. So but today, this GitHub Copilot and ChatGPT that can spin up this greeting and even can build the entire HIPAA-ready API before I finish my first sip of coffee. And yeah, and even in headlines now, they were asking even like whether we need programmers or not. So let's confront this question head on. Like if AI can already write the code, like why we are still here. So in the next 15 minutes, I will share you three industry shifts and three developer mindsets and one real world case study that prove why human clarity still matters. So uh, if AI writes the code, why we are here. So AI assistants now scaffold full apps in under 60 seconds. Even Gartner predicts by 2028, 60% of the new software will be AI generated. And not only that, even White recently asked, is it the end of the programming? Because speed is often mistaken for value. But at in my world, like in the Medicaid eligibility portals and care plan dashboards, value isn't about the lines of code. It's about the data integrity, privacy, and clinician trust. So I can say that previously calculators never eliminated math, right? They just freed out the mathematicians for the bigger proofs. So coming to this AI world and the new AI world with coding itself, so it is nothing but cranking out the boilerplate, which is like automated. But deciding what problem to solve and which trade-offs like to protect the patients is still profoundly human. So the question isn't whether like AI will write the code. It already does. So the real question is like how we need to evolve from people who type the instructions to the people who craft the intent and the context. So in 2021, the Copilot was like a fancy auto-complete application. So, but in 2023, ChatGPT plugins could generate like the whole CI/CD pipelines. Today, models can turn a napkin diagram into the Azure Bicep templates, and these prototype we're gonna have like the prototyping cycles, which have been collapsed from weeks to hours, sometimes even for minutes. And Medicaid claims dashboard that's once filled the whole sprint now fits within a coffee break. And I can say like as code becomes cheap and plentiful, but the intent and design, especially around the compliance and the PHI, becomes scarce and precious. So the generator happily produces a code or anything that we ask for, but it never passes to ask like, whether the feature meets the HIPAA or CMS data sharing rules and regulations. And I can say that code without purpose is a technical depth at the speed of the light. Here, I can also say that velocity alone doesn't keep the production lights on, like the production lights on in the healthcare. A generated eligibility microservice, like once I reviewed, shipped in 3 days, but crashed during the open enrollment week, locking out like 12,000 patients, like applicants, because it lacked a simple concurrency gap. When AI spits out services, like who owns the architecture and constraints? So, and and we can say like while a model can churn out the authentication code, it can't sign in it can't sign in a risk register or map protected health information across the regions. So security, privacy, and ethics are in the side phase. They are like the life critical. So our dilemma isn't whether we can move fast. It's how like we move fast without surrendering the reliability, intent, and accountability. So uh, every human, like the developer, need to have these three superpowers. Like first, they need to have like the system architecture. You need to be like a system architecture, translating the fuzzy policy mandates into Azure micro front ends like service buses and storage tiers that survive audit season. And second, the critical thinking, asking why before how, like weighting trade-offs, spotting edge cases, and no model forces like a caregiver updating a plan offline and then syncing in amid like network latency. Third is like ethics and empathy. Every line of code touches a patient, nurse, or a social services case worker. These superpowers and architecture, reasoning, ethics doesn't like get auto generated; they get cultivated. The more code the AI produces, the more these human strengths rise in strategic value. So we need to have like three mindsets to stay relevant to the changes that's been happening right now. So it is nothing but we need to be architect, not like a typist. So for every care plan feature, I first sketch domain boundaries and blob storage ties. Only then I can like model the controllers and fill in the controllers, and then we can do like debug. We can debug the thinking. So when ChatGPT hands me like C sharp code on any integration or any API, I treat it like a junior dev showing me. I gonna treat him like a junior dev and ask it to show me the reasoning where there are null checks and everything. And along with it, we can also say like in a world where the code is evident, my edge is filtering and refactoring and enforcing accessibility and standards. So we need to curate, uh, not like we need to create, and we need to have like the thinking and reasonable skills. Building apps, asking why, polishing relentlessly. These habits turn like AI from a threat into the best collaborator I have ever seen. So there's a case study of API backend have like using I created an API using the ChatGPT. So when model an audit trial API for a state case. I prompted Copilot like create an ASP.NET Core Web API with endpoints like to add, delete logs or query logs or purge logs. And 60 seconds, I have a runnable code, routes, doc strings, Docker file, and everything. Impressive, right? But it lags logging, retries, and per device rate limiting. So I iterated and added structured JSON, logs, and exponential backup. But it's still not like the production ready. So I manually refactored everything like error handling and moved secrets to Azure Key Vault and added role-based JWT scopes. And in within 20 minutes later, like we had like hardened microservice that can load test, showed P99 latency and improved 35 like which improved 35% the error rate and like it improved the latency by 35% and error rate dropped by 80%. So generation is fast, but judgment is decisive. So AI drafts the blueprint, human spots the missing load bearing walls. So here the key takeaways would be like let AI handle the hot work, unit stubs, front boilerplates, AML, so that you can tackle the architecture and patient safety strategy. So clarity, context, and creativity remain uniquely human. An LLM can remix patterns, but it can't intuit a clinician's unspoken concern about the workflow friction. So I can say like build systems that serve people, not just protocols. So we can just leverage AI speed, not and elevate your strategic value. So try to do this week, like offload one task to AI and double down on one decision only you can make. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Karthik Sirigiri, for your captivating session. Your talk on coding in the age of AI, staying smart when the code writes itself, was both timely and thought provoking, highlighting the evolving role of developers in an AI assisted world. We sincerely appreciate your contribution to ICCCNet 2025.